Hello and welcome to the program. In this second part, in this second episode of our trigonometry tutorial, we're going to start by plotting a graph of some trigonometric function. Well, you might be wondering if there's any need in plotting graph of trigonometric equation, but let me tell you that we, however, have need in plotting this because when you're solving some trigonometric equations or you have some trigonometric problems, you have some angles which you are not really familiar with, and you need to use some relationship which we're going to derive in the next video. And if you want to watch that, make sure you subscribe so they can notify when I upload the video. So you need to use some relationship between some angles and some other signs. And let's say, for example, in some situation you need to derive an answer with respect to sine, but you have having cos also present in the equation. So in that case, you need to simplify it and use some relationship, and this is the backbone of that. So as you can see on your screen, we have a table here. This is our x-axis and this is our y-axis. So I've taken some values of theta and put in a sine function. I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with this. So what I did was I just took this value and punched in my calculator. I didn't include all the values. You can include all, but make sure you go within this range because these are the most familiar values used in this particular operation. So in this video, I'm going to plot two graphs, that of sine and cosine theta. Well, the angle is all your choice. You can use alpha or beta, or you can use phi. It's all your choice. Then in the next video, we're going to get all the possible relationship and laws you can have from this video. Okay, so from this plot, you see, if you plot a graph, when sine theta is 0, it starts from this particular point at 0 because the value of sine theta is 0. So at 90, it goes to 1. And at 180, it comes back to 0. And then sine to 70, it goes to negative 1. Okay. So this is already, and as you can see you can notice that the point don't pass a certain value on the y-axis. So they have maximum and a minimum value. So this already tells you about the maximum and the minimum values of the sine function. So now, let's head a bit to the cosine function. I've noticed that a cosine has a different shape than that of a sine. Yes, when theta is 0, cos is 1. But when theta is 0, sine is 0. And this is a very interesting one to take note of when we're going to talk about in our next video. So, again, you will notice something very, very important, which is, I'm sure you might have studied wave maybe some time, or you might have heard about waves. Well, if you take a good look at these two graphs, and you want to find a wavelength, you will notice a very common angle, a very common degree, which is 360 degrees. From here down all the way, this is half wavelength. You go to this point, 4 wavelengths. So to plot these graphs, just that I don't have a graph paper, so I just use my A4 paper to plot this graph. I'm sorry for the foot of my camera stand. I didn't have good innovation or imagination to make to figure out how to position it very well today. Please, let's try and deal with this today. So to plot this graph, into first of all come out with some values of some angles. Then you point the values in your calculator and you plot them. Well, while plotting them, to avoid wasting time and avoid a lot of inaccuracy, you can first of all get all the values. But as soon as you notice the trend, just forget about the value between 0, 90, 180. But if you do have a graph paper, you can go along and play with it. So in the next video, we're going to be analyzing these graphs.